The Long Prison Journey of Leslie Van Houten is a book written by Carleen Faith and is basically an opinion piece about Leslie. Carleen met Leslie after Leslie had been convicted and sent to CIW, the California Institute for Women, and was on SSU, what used to be the death row. After being on SSU, the inmates were allowed to gain an education, and Carleen was one of the professors. Carleen would offer her classes to Leslie, Patricia, and Susan Atkins. While the book is interesting in some ways, the main idea of the book was basically just to vouch for Leslie's release. Carleen's main contention was really that Leslie had served enough time in prison already. At the time of the book's release, Leslie had done about 30 years. The book also talks about how Leslie was released for a short bit of time in the 1970s when she had her retrials, and actually Leslie had lived with Carleen for a little bit. Even though the argument for Leslie's release was made by many people over the decades, Carleen's arguments for the book were honestly quite weak. She basically just said that Leslie was brainwashed, and that should have been a good enough reason for Leslie to have been let go. The book actually seemed quite biased in many ways, as of course Carleen had befriended Leslie, and much of the book just appears as, "Let her go, she's my friend." The book would go on to be the inspiration for the movie Charlie Says, which came out in 2018. Ironically, the book and the movie seem to make Leslie's chances for parole actually harder. In parole transcripts after the book and the movie were released through that about 10-year period, people at the parole hearings would question Leslie if these things were made to help her gain any sort of money or fame, which she would say no. Despite Leslie not writing the book or having made the movie, she still actually seemed to be punished for both. Carleen Faith, the author, would pass away in 2017 before Leslie would be released. Van Houten was released on parole in 2023, and she completed her sentence in 2025.